keep it tight then. All right. So last we left, you guys are essentially crossing over a bridge, which is one of the few structures that actually looks like it's been maintained pretty well. It's been made of sturdier stuff, despite carrying 200 years worth of pedestrians from one side to the next. Um, and as you guys are crossing over this bridge, there's the sound of footfalls close behind you. Sturdier things. As a man, seemingly kind of out of breath, approaches. And Crow and the pale lady, you recognize this man as Clinton.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Crow slowly turns over and is impressed that he managed to keep up.
It's only because you guys talked, but that's not shaming. That's just how this works. Like, in canon, that is actually why he caught up to you. Otherwise, he wouldn't have.
I kill Rakote.
This is your problem now. Clinton will kind of slow his roll as he approaches you and speak to Crow directly as he says, "Left Evilstadt quicker than I thought. Hell, I didn't think I'd catch up."
Crow slides a look towards Rakote.
He just sort of smiles back with his crooked, sharp teeth.
Crow looks back towards Clinton.
He'll wave to the two newcomers to him, Rakote and Rostavan, and say, "Hey there, Clinton." And he will just pay attention to Crow once more and say, "Looks like we're headed to our no. I'll be pleased to have that gold shirt."
Crow is...
Are we on the bridge?
Yeah, you're currently walking if you want to.
God, I want to throw him off the bridge so bad.
That's hilarious. If you had aspect, I'd tap that.
I wanna empathy everyone's feelings on Bill Clinton.
Good president, great president. Let's sign out.
Crow is currently weighing whether he should kill this guy, because if he just tells him the truth to get him to go away, he might snitch.
Yeah.
Rossman, you can decide what you're going to do, but real quick, Clinton will get out. "I had eyes on the man myself, but confronting the flesh eaters, that's a tall order. Can see you weren't doing it alone, though."
What dost thou want?
Well, to help you, right? I mean, I can watch over him if you want. Can't imagine he was in good condition when you found him. But it's good to be careful. Gold shirts, trained and all that.
Go to kill Arnu.
What, when you... How bad is the guy off? I mean, he'll not really understand what you're saying at first, and he'll say, "I'm sure the news wouldn't kill him. I mean, how roughed up is the gold shirt?"
He points to himself. Says, "Kill the king."
Clinton is going to nod and then stop walking.
So can I try to create an advantage for myself to then do a physique roll to push this guy over the railing? I want to do it.
Yeah. Go. What type of advantage were you gonna try to create?
either a notice or a stealth. It's the same roll. I imagine this fall off of the bridge is not like long enough to kill him, but
No.
it would it would keep him occupied for a while,
Yeah, one would
at
think.
least.
Guess what? His notice is a 0. So go ahead and do whatever you want to do. If you want to roll
Alright.
stealth against that.
Great.
Yeah, success with style. You could
Alright.
tabletop this dude.
So I'm gonna try to physique him.
Okay, his physique is also 0.
Great.
Narrate for me.
As Clinton stops, there's kind of the shadow of the pale lady, who is just a very tall, lean figure, will kind of sweep up behind him, and she'll put her hands. Uh, Actually, she'll kind of walk up next to him, and then noting the sort of awkward tension, she'll just kind of shove him over sideways off of the edge of the bridge.
He will give a quick yelp that is just dashed as soon as he hits the water. And you just see him sink into it.
We will need to be quick.
Crow looks from that to the pale lady and makes no move of his head, but approval overshadows him as he begins to continue his stride.
It was like a cat batting a fucking glass off of a table. It was that fucking calculated. Just whoosh.
Rakote, you do not see the body come back up.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Well,
You look over the side, and there is nobody coming up right now.
The aqua rats must have quickly devoured him.
Yeah,
You wouldn't have maybe killed him if you didn't succeed with style.
what? I succeeded with style.
No, I'm just kidding. You
So
can be
careful.
he can be out of commission. Do you want him to be dead? Because he can be dead.
My thought is not to kill him. My thought was to just maybe sweep him into some rapids that would like carry him further downstream.
spike.
So you don't kill him, but the plummet does as he falls 200 feet.
as 120-mile-per-hour rapids drag him across the rock-laden waters.
The goal is so that he can't go back and snitch right away.
He wasn't killed by the throw, for sure.
He will be gone for a while, is what I'm gonna say. Like, you succeeded 6 points over him. He's
The
gone.
undertow.
Yeah, he is not coming back for a good while. I'm just gonna drag him over here so I remember that he is all the way over here
Honestly,
now.
if you want to just put him like out here, is that where he ends up?
You're gonna see Clinton when you escape the aisle, and he's gonna be a king on a plush golden throne.
Next time I come back. Next time I
Clinton's
come
Island.
back.
Rakote looking over the fucking bridge, will look to the pale lady and say, "You best hope he forgets to talk when he eventually finds his way from the waters."
The rapids are quite quick. It will take some time. We will be gone then.
Word of mouth can be just as quick. And he'll keep walking.
Mm.
Don't last word me. Don't last word me.
He'll quickly shuffle out to make sure he gets last word.
He puts his fingers in his ears.
La 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 la.
he puts his AirPods in, and you can hear what he's listening to. It's that loud.
All right. In that case, you are not accosted by anyone else as you continue on your path. Occasionally, go ahead.
There was a second person, but upon seeing Clinton straight up yeeted into the water, they turn silently and leave, wanted poster in hand.
Yeah. As you make your way, there are, of course, dozens of people. This is a main thoroughfare between all these different kind of major ports that people decide to set up in. But it gets a bit thinner as you head down a narrow channel that Crow you know to be called the Charnel Way. And that name becomes very self-evident as you see a number of stockades kind of lining the side of these walls. And on many of them are corpses that have been just cleaned of the flesh from the legs up to about the mid of their stomach. And you can see kind of next to these gallows rat kind of holes that lead out to them. And there are just plenty of people that don't really turn or look, and some do and kind of consider the people up there. Yeah, exactly. It is the same idea. The charnel like makes sense. Um, as you see up above you, plenty of people that have defied Arno's law, kind of looking down at you, and you continue your way up and up towards the Tomb of the Forgotten.
Yeah, Crow marches past these people intent on violating Arnu's law.
Okay. Cool. And the rest of you see just as much as you come up on the largest of the enclaves that you've seen thus far, the Tomb of the Forgotten, the once kind of capital city built on this isle. Before it was a prison place, but a kind of a tomb, a place of remembrance for the dead, and a tomb that was meant to serve as the king's final resting place, the Forgotten King, before the revolution occurred. But here, in this place, you see an even more organized kind of front, as plenty of soldiers with much better equipped steel kind of look out. None of theirs is marked with kind of the dull marks of the others in the fields that you've come past prior. These people are set for war or defense, and it's clear to tell, even if they aren't paying you an especially critical mind as you continue.
Yeah, there's not a lot of tact to Crow's march, as given the straightness of his gait, you're starting to reckon that he possibly plans to just walk into the throne room and stab the man, given the directness of his route.
For sure.
So, fishwife, does your friend up here have a plan for, taking on the leader of this place, as I understand it?
She will, at first, not realize you were speaking to her. And then, kind of gleaning after a little bit too long that you are, like, talking in her direction, she'll look up and say, I could not say.
All right. Well, night's approaching, and, we don't want to be found outside when that happens, so hopefully this gets done, expediently.
Yes. Perhaps we should wait for morning and find suitable shelter before then. She'll look to Crow and say, because do we know that the tomb is safe from rats? I guess I'll say that out loud. Do we know that the tomb is a haven from the night?
So Kane, I know because we see it on the map that there's a shield here, so this is a stronghold.
Yep.
Is there a village? Is there like a place that appears like it's somewhere that we could stay?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, kind of to give a little bit more context so you guys know what you're walking into, the Tomb of the Forgotten itself is the largest structure that you've seen on this island. It's like a massive stone thing with towers that overlook the rest of this island. It is incredibly safe to assume. Why am I playing around? It has a +7 shelter. The tomb itself, like that is the shelter value of that place because it is fortified and it is a place of interest. Rakote, give me a contacts, a challenge of 1 to know more about the actual village.
Okay.
Okay. The village beneath it does offer shelter. At a lower kind of version, at a 5.
Okay.
To actually stay there, you typically have to trade or kind of earn your keep. A lot of those houses are kind of dedicated to the servants of Arno. They're kind of like the promised huts of the soldiers and things like that. If you work for Arnaud, he vets you, and then you're guaranteed certain privileges. And one of those is the comfort of knowing you won't have a night filled with rats.
Okay.
So it's definitely there. It's just gonna take a bit more searching. Otherwise, there are kind of tombs outside of the town itself, and it would require some investigation.
Okay, so it exists, but it's not necessarily. They don't necessarily take in travelers in the
No,
village. Okay.
no, definitely not.
All right. So Rakote would communicate that then, and he'd say, the tomb itself, a natural living bastion, would provide us the most safety from the harshities that we faced last night. The village, well, also a safe haven, is not necessarily welcoming to outsiders, from what I've heard of the chatter along the way. We may. I believe our options are thus. We may attempt to break into a tomb, hunker down for the night. Or, if we are to push into the village proper, or even the tomb itself, the cathedral, we would need to avoid detection to make it through the night.
The crow will acknowledge this, looking down at the whelp, and look towards the village and say, "Kill a king. Need rest. We'll take. What is it? We'll take shelter." He's making for the. Oh!
You guys have roughly like 2 hours. Just to keep in mind, I know that's nebulous, but just know that night is starting to rear its head.
Mm-hmm.
He's making for the village itself.
Okay.
Yep. I'll follow.
Rakote is going to reach his cane out in front of you, the pale lady. I'm going to use the definite article every single time to address you.
So you can just call me like lady.
The pale lady.
Every time.
Pale lady, as you try to pass, he's going to stick his cane out. And he's going to slide that fucking gross milky eye back over in your direction. And he's going to say, if you could find the words to convince your friend to enact his plan in the morning, you would be saving his life. I don't know that my friend and I are prepared to follow him into a battle that we know we are not going to win.
He heads toward the village. I believe he means to rest.
He means to kill a king and roost in his castle.
I don't think so, right? He's headed toward the village.
Yeah, I might have to unfortunately kneecap Dave again. It's bad because I speak in incomplete articles.
Declan and I are the two dramatic speakers in this party. Apparently, we have the fucking Shakespeare guy and the says two words guy.
But I'm going to be honest, like, that is dialogue.
Chill.
That's how communication works, though. I'm fine with the like loss, and then you.
That
can
is my
correct
trouble
that.
aspect.
I would say that as an empathy, probably, because if your character's literally not saying things, your other character's not going to know that.
It's my entire trouble aspect that I don't have a common tongue.
Yep.
I guess then to not muddy it too much and to not bully Mac into trying to rapport you down from something or provoke you down from something that you're not going to do, he'll say, just keep these words in mind. Sleep will come first.
She'll look towards Crow and say, I guess I'm gonna try to empathy him, perhaps now confused about what's happening. That's my empathy. Great.
He's got
Nothing's
the
been
No
resolved.
resolution.
I'd say you just get the bare hint of basically what you're suspecting, which is he's got that body language like he's got all his wiggles out and he's looking to lay down for a bit before resuming the Terminator hunt.
Should he try to leave before morning, which I believe he will not, I will speak to him.
Satisfied with that and not wanting to protract this any longer, Rikote will just still nod his head under his gross, soggy hat. It's disgusting. I hate it.
Gross.
And that'll be that.
All right.
Okay, cool. Then Crow, you approach the village and the pretty well-maintained homes there. You can tell that a lot of attention, again, has been paid to make sure this place stays in top condition, repaired with what little lumber is afforded on the Isle of Rats. And to your left and right, there are people kind of attending to the guard and making meals, which seem a bit more hearty than the ones that you found out in the field. There's even the sign of like a few vegetables floating in some of the soups, which is probably a pretty welcome smell after what you guys have been through, essentially. What is your plan from here?
I am going to find the most matronly-looking person of authority
Yeah.
and inquire as to them housing.
Okay. Let's set some challenges here. If you want to do that, I'd say you could investigate to find like something that you think would make sense, like a place that would be welcoming to travelers.
Okay.
Let's set the challenge. It's going to be a little bit higher because most of that has been taken. I'd set the challenge at a 2.
All right, let's see. Do I have the aid of anyone?
Good question.
I don't have investigate.
Is it just investigate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Currently,
I don't have
yes.
Investigate.
Okay.
I have none.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I also am not confident in creating my own advantage because none of my skills really
social.
inform that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is Rikote's rapport?
I've got a 2 rapport.
And I'm sure you've got an aspect for it as well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna hedge my
Very
bets.
nice, Sean. Okay. that's very good.
He is going to kind of be looking around and practically shove Rikote with the haft of his spear and say, haggle.
He's going to sort of gesture to the fish that are hanging from his cane, and he'll say, "I came prepared," and we'll walk into town.
Okay.
Wait a
so
minute.
now, go ahead.
We might need those.
He'll say, "Half of my catch I've reserved for you, Rastavan. The other was always meant to exchange for information, goods, or services. Perhaps I
Right,
can
well,
afford us a night with this large one."
Just go. Fine. Just don't sell my. I need that fish. All right.
He'll tap. He's not gonna. It's a raw fish. It's not been cooked yet, so he'll tap the one and it'll kind of spin from its place, and he'll say,
this one, all yours to see whatever you do fit with it. And
Crow is marking down Rastovan's place in the world for depending on Rakote for something.
But yeah, I'll wander into town. So I don't have investigate. My plan was going to be to utilize contacts to try to find basically anybody that is trading in goods in this place. You had mentioned that there are people cooking, which I imagine somewhere there are food stores, and a fish might be halfway decent.
Yeah, I think context challenge of 2 would get you what you're looking for. Place for the night and a 5 shelter for everyone involved.
All right. I was using this to create advantage because I have a fairly good
Oh.
investigate, but yeah.
I mean, it's same ends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh no.
So that's fine because my
Oh no.
As the car's breaking down, this is fine because
it's totally great.
Because I've been meaning to walk more.
Honestly, yeah, it's a beautiful day. Got this fish to trade. I've just got to find who to fucking trade it with.
Well, I'm sorry. If you would have used your boost there, it would have been fine. Because the context is that your context and context.
All right.
The context is that you could have traded this, and context basically gets you there.
I don't want to get in the habit of retroactively rolling boosts and advantages. I might ask to do that specifically on this roll because I didn't realize I could apply it to the contacts. I thought I had to use it on resources.
No, and
so given that, if I can use that to make that succeed, then yes. When I find where I'm getting to, I'm going to trade the one fish that was the turn order one. I'm saving the other one for Sean.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry for not communicating
No, you're fine.
clear. I should have definitely defined the challenge more.
No, you're fine. I broke your rules of fishing on day 1, so it's okay to kind of have to flex with that.
Okay. No, in that case, you do find, let's say, a place that its soup is looking a bit thin, and you feel like your fish will make a pretty good addition to it.
Yeah. So Rakote will approach and pretty much immediately go into his sales pitch, looking at the sort of pitiful vegetable broth, and he'll say, "Food for soldiers."
That's the only type here, says a woman, probably about 30.
He'll shake his head and he'll say, "Oh, I'm not hungry myself, but allow me to introduce myself. I am Rakote, a purveyor of fine things, such as," and he'll take the cane from his shoulder and gesture to the fish, and he'll say, "The catch of the day." And he'll say, "The meat should liven up your stew here. Its bones should thicken your broth. You could feed the sailors for much longer than the turnips you've got floating in there with this."
The color's good. She'll lean forward, sniff a bit. And it doesn't stink. That's new.
Caught in clear water this morning with my own 2 hands.
Well, you must be something of a fisherman, then. Not many people have luck out there.
He'll sort of cough a wet laugh, and he'll say, "The fish, you see, we speak to each other," sort of gesturing at the horrible creature that he is.
Yeah.
And he'll say, yeah, he'll cough right in the soup.
Yeah.
he's holding.
Ew.
We speak to each other.
We
Oh.
speak to each other.
Come to think of
What
it,
are you boying?
I don't really like fish.
Honestly, I was
Don't
having
like fish.
I was already having a bad day. I'm not putting up with this. You need to leave.
Harold, get down here.
Harold! She takes a horn from her belt and blows it, and the cavalry come running with their fucking swords akimbo.
He will look at the fish and say, Unfortunately for us both, I don't have much to buy with.
He'll say, uh, and gold goes very little in the Isles. However, I do seek for myself and a few friends a roof for the night. Uh, do you have one?
She will smile a bit and say, "That I do. Few less beds, or sorry, few beds still open too. You hand me that fish, I can set you up nice for the night."
He'll unravel it and he'll without anything to really wrap it in, he'll just offer it over in his hand, and he'll say, "You and I, my friend, have made our very first deal."
The woman will laugh a bit and just say, "Let's see how good the fish is first. We'll see if we can't make this a deal, make this a thing."
He'll say, "I imagine you can tell me what you think tomorrow after the soldiers have been fed. I'll fetch my friends."
"The attic," she says, pointing.
He turns to them and kind of claps his hands and with a broad gesture says, "The attic!"
Can't promise it'll be comfortable, but there are a few less rats.
Hate that.
There are
Yeah,
still
with
some.
that,
There definitely is going to be.
Rats
Yeah.
non-optional.
Yeah.
with that, he gestures everybody over and he says, "I've secured lodging for the evening."
Crow makes sure not to thank him as he marches by and heads for their dwelling.
Ah, nice job. I pat you on the shoulder, but that might dislocate something.
He's gonna say, "It's probably best that you don't."
Even if I did have these off, you probably don't want me patting your shoulder, trust me.
What does that mean? Good night.
He'll laugh again, and he'll say, "And as promised," and he'll gesture to the fish that is still unsold, and he'll say, "I continue to hold it for you."
Slide it through my mask.
Tail first.
Feed
Why?
it to me.
You will, do you have it on like a one of those like hanging hook things or whatever?
Yeah, it's tied to his cane. He hasn't been walking with the cane. He's been holding it over his shoulder for pretty much the whole time.
Okay. He'll just say, well, I would take it, but again, if you got something that you can, I don't know, just put it over my shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably, unless there's a challenge roll to fail this,
No.
I could probably just tie the string around your neck.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. You
Your
just have
cool necklace.
a fish necklace.
I-
You can
I have a
paddleball the
a fish
fish into your
tie.
mouth for bites whenever you get hungry.
I can adjust my fish tie.
Yeah.
The pale lady will watch this with that kind of eerie, just kind of staring at the social engagement, and then she'll look to you, Sean, and she'll say, "It must be difficult to eat with your hands bound together."
You manage after a while.
Why are they like that?
Oh, I,
It is strange. I have not seen anything like it in quite some time.
yeah, there was an island. The people on the island didn't like me that much, so here my hands are, and here I am on this island.
But your hands are still bound.
Yeah, they had a bit of trouble, you know, getting rid of them the conventional way, so.
But they are not still here.
Yeah, I mean, those weren't the guys on the boat.
She does that kind of like wet blink,
Ugh.
not understanding why your hands are still bound together if you're not still with those people. And then she'll look at you, Rakote, and she'll say, "Thank you for securing us shelter." You are muted.
I don't know what happened there. Um, he'll take his hat off, revealing one of his other eye is swollen shut, and
Hmm.
he'll pin it
Oh.
to his chest, and he'll say, "It was my pleasure."
She'll
She frowns and puts the hat back on you.
It pulls it even further, so his whole eye, both eyes are hidden.
yeah, she'll regard you for a long moment, just kind of looking over your state, and then she will head inside, nodding to the woman as she bends greatly to go into the door.
Yeah, perfect.
Hey, Rakote.
Yeah, he'll look at you.
So, that big cathedral up there, my guess is this king, he's got to have some kind of smith. And if he's got a smith, well, I assume it's probably the best one on this island. And if it's the best one on this island, it could be a ticket to, me finally getting these things off my hands.
uh, Sorry, what
I
Devin
can
just said.
I can
That
accept
hairline
every
is
other part of
depressing.
Rakote for who he is. The hair, the full head of hair, and sideburns is unacceptable.
They're mutton chops, obviously.
Yeah, he's got mutton chops. Yeah, it's not like long, luxurious hair.
No, it's cool. It's very cool.
He has a mullet in the back.
Oh no!
Big mullet.
Cut it off when he becomes a Jedi.
When he's ready.
Yeah, it comes down in a rat tail for like every bad part to be checked on the checklist.
Everyone pushes their food away because they don't fucking want to eat anymore after what they've seen.
The mullet turns into a fish towards the bottom.
Ew.
Just an eyeball coming out of it.
It's a fin.
Oh.
It's a
Oh.
big fin.
It's a fin.
Turns into like a mermaid's
Jesus.
tail.
Wow, I hate it.
How does it go from hair to a mermaid's tail?
Yeah, it's really like not at all.
Oh god, his head falls off and swims away. But
He'll he'll look to you, Rastavan, and he'll say, "A capital idea.
My thought here is if Mr. Silence over there goes in, literally killing every single person in there, then I'm going to lose out on a chance. Now, not to say that I haven't lost out on chances before of someone getting these things off, but at this point, I'll take what I can get.
He'll say, shall we go tonight then?"
I don't know if they'll let us in. Plus, I'm not sure if we have anything to bargain with them.
I want to return real quick as the others are scuttling to the room. I want to return to my friend there at the pot.
Yeah.
Who has gone back to her procedurally generated activities, chopping vegetables, dumping them like into the pot, and whatever else she's what they've programmed her to do.
The
when
pot
she's
never
not
getting
talking to
bigger
anybody.
or any more full.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
tell that she's working a bit quicker now that the sun's setting.
Mhm.
But it's basically about to come together as she starts to kill the fire.
He'll approach and he'll say, "My friend, I've already asked so much of you and taken up so much of your time. But if I might,
Yeah, this sounds like a favor, she says.
he'll say, not quite, just information. New to the Isle, you see. The tomb of the Forgotten. They receive pilgrims or no?"
She will scoff a bit and say, "Pilgrims, no. Soldiers, of course. Newcomers like you, well, they'll see you." And then, hold on a sec. And then she'll say, Jordan might even take a look at you, see if you're worth much. From there, it goes to our no, and then you'll hear back. Maybe a few weeks from then.
He'll say,
Ugh.
and this Jordan, they are who exactly?
They're the bookkeeper. Not much for swords or anything like that, mind you, but... Well, I guess he's just good with numbers. Good with numbers, bad with people. You ever met someone like that?
He'll say, in my line of work, all too many.
Well, then you'll know what to expect from Jordan.
He'll say, you continue to be very helpful, my friend. Thank you, and have a good evening.
Of
And I
course.
guess I don't know if they say that here. Like, yeah, don't let the rats bite. Am I right?
You know that they do, and then they bow at you.
Yeah.
And it's like, why did they bow? What's the
I don't know.
fucking
I don't-
implication culturally?
Yeah.
It's an ancient thing where you bow to the ancient inhabitants. They would bow to get the rat off of their top of their head. So
Ah,
Yeah, to drain the
Screaming
rats from the
politely.
hat brim.
it's a
Yeah.
vestigial sort of thing that has lost its meaning. But that's when they used to wear the big rat hats. That
Are
Yeah.
those wigs that rats would actually nest in?
yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Rakote will he'll walk away from that, tapping his fingers on the cane.
Weeks? Is that what I heard? Why are these nobles always so long?
He'll say, if Jordan is human, there is something that Jordan wants. If I can find out what that is, perhaps he can seek you audience with this smith, if they exist.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if we have time. If we can convince Mr. Silence not to kill people in the region of where the smith is, maybe then we could do something. You know,
Yes.
he kills the front gate guards and whatnot, and unless he sneaks past them, I don't even. How does this guy operate? There's too many variables here. I hate this island. Hey! Whoa!
He's gonna kind of hover a hand over your shoulder, not entirely sure if you're one for physical reassurance, and also he's horrifying and people don't like being touched by him.
Oh, got
So
that.
he'll
very
he'll
sad.
slowly withdraw it, and he'll
Yeah,
say,
you'll feel some heat coming off him.
yeah. You start
Physically.
to smell cooked fish coming off Rakote's hand.
That smells good, she says.
Damn.
I
Is
like to
lemon
imagine
garlic?
that, curse aside, Restavan sees Rakote's hand coming and just goes, "Oh God, no!"
He just grabs his wrist. Don't. But yeah, he'll withdraw his hand, and he'll say, "We will be free of this wretched place soon." And he'll say, "The sailor is simple. His mind is direct, and what he wants is very singular." He says 8 more different ways of saying that he's he's got a simple one direct mind.
I like the contrast though. That like,
Uh,
he's simple. It's very easy, and then you're fucking talking forever.
And he'll say, yeah, literally, that's Rakote,
Yeah,
like
that's good.
overcomplicating everything.
Yeah, I like it.
And he'll say, I will think of something to direct him, or perhaps talk to him and what his plan of attack is, see what it is he deigns best. I imagine he values his own survival even over what it is he's trying to accomplish. He's not going to walk in there and get himself killed.
Yeah, all right, I'll sit in there. Just to make it clear.
Yes. And he'll start kind of climbing the stairs up to the attic.
Yeah.